welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
I'm Ashley.
Why
You didn't wait for me.
Oh, you're supposed to
I was
do it.
having an internal dialogue.
Okay, let's do it again. You ready? That's so we clear it. Okay. Nose.
It's because I'm looking at that baby head.
Don't leave the baby. Okay. Hey, Fiends, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
And I'm Ashley.
And on today's episode, we are talking about, we had a title, but
It was like basically beauty debaucheries.
yeah, weird beauty things.
Yeah, things that we like, things that we've partaken in, things that we see and go, uh-oh, that's a horror story within itself.
Weird, like, I guess not weird historical things, but like historical trends in beauty that aren't really like American trends that most people here would think are pretty different.
Yeah, because it is something that is part of our culture. I mean, since like I was researching 16th century, like people do things. So it's not like it's this millennial trend, even though it's very represented now in social media. Weird shit has been going on for a very long time.
That is very true. I actually looked up, I looked up a lot of like weird beauty trends in the world. And then I found a list that was the 15 strangest beauty trends. And some of them, like, as I was reading them, I didn't believe that was an actual thing. And I think the first one to me is one of the most interesting thing, and it's crooked teeth. So,
which we don't like in America.
Exactly. We don't like crooked teeth. So here in the United States, you want straight teeth. People spend thousands of dollars on braces, surgeries, all that sort of stuff. But in Japan, they actually do, they make their teeth crooked. And I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's called yaba or yaba. And essentially, yeah, hell no. But essentially what they're doing is we get braces here to straighten our teeth. They get braces there to make their teeth crooked. So like, when people will have like that extra fang that's over and usually they get pulled. These people are getting braces to move that tooth in front to make it crooked.
I feel like that would make food going through my teeth feel fucking weird.
Well, it also is like, it's bad for your bite. So essentially,
and I'm looking at the photo now and she's staring at me as if I'm judging her.
I don't know if you can see
it. You do you, girl, but not for me.
Another one that I find the ones that are interesting that have like different meaning here. And there's one in Africa. It's called Fat Camp. And for here,
I feel like we have that here because it was a movie.
But for a different reason. So here, Fat Camp would be to lose weight because you are overweight.
Yeah.
There, Fat Camp is because you are not. If you're
that
thinner,
enough?
Right. So it's basically like being heavier is a symbol of like wealth because you can afford to eat. So they send people that look malnourished or malnutrition, just like average or skinny people, to get fat. So you essentially go to this camp and you eat.
Thick camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was looking up stuff more that were like ancient because I think that in today's society, America, obviously, it is over consumed with like visual culture in that like everything's like what you see is like what you're already judged on and all that. And I think like it becomes this whole thing, like go to America, you'll become this stereotypical big lipped, like crazy bitch. And meanwhile, there are things still going on in other countries that are very beauty related that we don't actually know about. And they're things that have been passed on for years and years. And I was looking more like ancient shit to really get to the bottom of what makes us so infatuated with being beautiful, but is it like beautiful to other people or beautiful to ourselves?
Well, and who sets that standard? Because I think in different countries, what's deemed beautiful is very different. Like here, our sense of beauty is very different from the sense of beauty in Korea or in Japan or in Africa. But what started those trends? Who was the person that said, hey, crooked teeth is a beautiful thing. People should strive for that. Or, hey, big lips are a beautiful thing because beauty
Kylie
trends,
Jenner did that shit.
right? But beauty trends change throughout time. But the weird thing is that there's some trends that are still around that are ancient trends.
Which I have a few that are really weird. And I'm going to bring up my notes.
Tell me. Oh, air conditioning?
Oh, the air conditioner. I love it though. It's so
okay,
nice.
we're keeping it's hot
so nice.
in LA, so we're keeping the air conditioning on.
So there are a few that like we all know about, like, like foot binding and.
Okay, so foot binding, before this started, this is on it's on that list of the 15 strangest beauty things. So I remember learning about foot binding in school, and I didn't really comprehend how they do it. And I never really saw a photo. In school, we would see, like in the history books, you would see the photo with them with their foot in the shoe. So you didn't necessarily know what the foot looks like. But there is
They
a
look
picture.
crazy.
Yeah, it looks really crazy.
And I feel horrible because I have giant fucking feet and I would know that they wouldn't. No, like that's horrifying. Like, and I feel bad that they would have to put themselves through that hold on. Beautiful.
Oh God, it zoomed in.
It's a crazy foot.
That's crazy.
Also, yeah, like that doesn't feel anatomically accurate to function as a human.
The foot is literally broken in half, like broken, and then wrapped around. So that thing on the side that I was like, oh, she has corns on her feet. That's her toes.
But they said it signified the desired look of a lotus bud, which is interesting because it's like flower feet. And maybe, I don't know, I don't get it.
That's like a tryptophobia thing. That makes me me feel gross.
Yeah, disclaimer, I sound like a man too right now because I'm sick.
I can't make the foot go away.
Put it down. Foot. So there were a few things, like obviously like that is something that we all kind of learn about. Corsets, which we still
people still wear corsets and torture themselves. I wear them too.
Yeah. But there was a few called like deadly nightshade drops. And so this dates back to the Middle Ages. And we learned that the toxic plant, deadly nightshade, officially called Atropa belladonna, was used by witches who mixed it in their toxic plants to make an ointment, which would result in illusions of being able to fly or visit the devil. So these bitches in medieval times were like, ooh, child.
Well, what do they do with the ointment?
They would squeeze the drops into their eyes, and it would be considered attractive, but it would kind of black it out and also dilate their pupils. So they'd look like that chick in Deantwood with the black eyes.
It was like a beauty thing because they thought that was beautiful.
And they would see shit. And other people would look at them and be like, ooh, wow.
You're possessed by the devil.
You're very interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh. And it's a toxic plant, so it would obviously affect their eyes. Like it would eventually...
Like their vision make them go blind.
Fuck shit up. And then another thing was lead foundation. So when you think about foundation now, a lot of us obviously... we use it every day, but back in the times of like Marie Antoinette, where everyone wanted to be like these powdered goddesses, it would literally be like paint. And so paint you'd put on walls, a lot of it, even like 20 years ago, it had lead in it. Yeah. They were painting their faces literally, and it would result in bad shit, including dry skin, obviously, paralysis and organ failure because their skin.
You're poisoning yourself, right? You're suffocating your skin and poisoning yourself.
So those were some weird ones where I'm like, I kind of take advantage of the fact that I can just paint my face and go, but like the fact that women tried to look so beautiful but ended up virtually killing themselves is fascinating.
Well, and I think a lot of the other ones that like I'm seeing that are beauty trends, one that I found kind of interesting is in Iran. So plastic surgery is seen as like a form of wealth. If you can afford to have plastic surgery, then you have a lot of money. So in Iran, women will wear fake bandages on their noses or like fake bandages on their face to look like they just recently had plastic surgery. So it's kind of crazy that the extent that people would go to, because here, people that have plastic surgery is almost a thing that you don't want.
They hide it because no one actually shows their recovery.
Right.
They hide that well.
Which I kind of have like a very different, I guess, idea about plastic surgery. And I think that if you want to do something that's going to make you feel more beautiful or it's going to make you feel better, I think you have all the right to do it. And I don't think that anyone should judge you for that. But I do feel like our beauty standards in America are so drastic that people feel like they're not beautiful unless they do those things.
Exactly.
So if you're doing it for you, then by all means, like do what you want to do to make yourself feel more beautiful, but don't feel pressured by what you see on the internet and like those unrealistic beauty standards that we put
because they're not
people.
Attainable bodies. And I remember listening to this guy talking, and he was talking about the toxicity of social media and how you have like the Kardashians, and no matter what you do, that body is unattainable unless you have a lot of money. And years ago, the ideal body was like you worked out really hard, and the unattainability was that you couldn't work out as hard as these people, but they were athletes that you looked up to. They were people that worked out, and it wasn't money related, but it was like a healthy way to become these like bizarrely superhero-like people. Mm-hmm. Now we don't have that. We look to people who are legitimately putting cow fat in their ass. And to young women, it's like, if they have the money and that's going to make them feel better at the end of the day, like they're going to do what they want to do. Right. But to have it go from like extreme health to extreme wealth is very fascinating.
Yeah. Well, and also you think like, when you said the thing about the cow fat, like that's all fine and dandy if that's what you want to do. But a lot of the problems, like doing research for this episode, I read so many horror stories of people thinking like, and I think that's more what this episode is about, is like things that people are doing to the extremes that can lead to death. One of the main things was butt implants. And I feel like a lot of people now, people want a tiny waist and a giant
and a cushy
butt.
tushy.
And a lot of the people that you see that have that is injections or they've been altered in some way, shape, or form, whether they admit it or not. But one of the main stories is that whole cow fat in your ass.
Yep.
And there's tons of stories of people. The one in particular, there's a couple that I looked up, but one in particular, this woman goes to gets a referral from someone that had butt injections, and she wants to do it. And so she gets the information about where to meet the person, like where you're going to, the doctor's office per se. So she gets to the location and it's a Dunkin' Donuts. And the Dunkin' Donuts was like the waiting room, which I love donuts.
I love Dunkin' Donuts. That's my childhood.
That's the first red flag to this whole thing is like, hey, why, maybe did I get the address wrong? Is this the correct place? No, it's correct, because then a person comes and meets them in the Dunkin' Donuts and takes them to the apartment building nearby where her surgery is. Or I guess it's not really a surgery because you're not, you're awake. There's no anesthesia. So she gets to this apartment, and as she's walking into the apartment or the building, I don't know necessarily it was apartment, there's like certificates on the wall showing that this doctor is certified. But anyone that has a computer and a printer can make a certificate saying that you are a certified doctor. So red flag number 2. I guess that would be like red flag number 10 in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But she continues to get these injections, and the lady is saying how she had to go to Mexico to get the supplies because they're so in demand in the United States that they can't get them here. So already it's like you should have ran for the hills. Nope. And she tells her, I believe she told her it was lamb fat. So the common things that are people telling is lamb fat or cow fat. And it turned out to be
it's like not real silicone, right?
No, it's hydrogel, which I think is a silicone-based product. I'm not necessarily sure like what exactly is in it, but she injected silicone in her. Then, so the woman is, I guess, for the first week or the first couple days, it's fine. And then the fluid starts moving into her hips, her back, and her legs. Because essentially you're injecting a fluid-like substance into your body.
And your body can reject it, too.
Right. So it's basically, that's what it's doing. It's trying to push it out of where it's at. And it's not like a breast implant that's like encapsulated. It's just a loose fluid.
Yeah.
So she goes to the doctor and tells them what happens. And they deem that it's a silicone-based product. It wasn't cow fat or lamb fat, because that would have stayed in the actual location. She has to have it taken out of her back, her hips, everywhere that it had spread to, her legs. And then she actually had to have part of her butt removed, like on both sides, because I don't know how it fused with the body. But it's, first of all, she didn't die, but people that had gotten previous butt injections from this woman had died. And the woman's in prison now, but I mean, what are people thinking? Like, what are you thinking?
At what point? And it's like, I understand like wanting to be beautiful and I get it, but I feel like no matter, everyone I know who has gotten things done, they still hate themselves. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Just like, is it worth almost dying because liquid is now free flowing through your body and could potentially go in your arteries, could go in your bloodstream?
They could have injected into your bloodstream and you could be dead.
It's just weird shit too. Like I was reading the story where this girl, she got an eye lift and she lost a lot of weight and she had a lot of sagging on her face and she just wanted her eyelids raised, which is a common procedure, and got it done. Super sketchy. It was in England and she was having like a hard time sleeping and she kept like literally crying all the time. Realized that she was sleeping with her eyes open. Like she could not shut her fucking eyes. Wouldn't close. No.
Too much lift.
My hat just almost flew off thinking about it.
No.
Like, no. So I'm like, at what point, like, get a referral from someone who knows his shit or her shit.
The referral program from anything in life is usually a pretty solid thing. Like, hey, my friend went here, they got solid work. Or like knowing that. And also, I honestly, in some of these cases, like obviously when people die, that's terrible. But in some of these botched surgery cases, I can't really feel bad for them because you're not like using your brain.
There's certain ones where like the ones that say that they will go to Mexico and it's a little sketchy and it's like in a back alley, like that you have to mentally set yourself up for 50% failure.
Right. Probably more so. Like you
cheap,
should, right.
But like even in South America, it's just like these constant procedures where they're like, yeah, like, you know, it's like semi-safe, but you're going to a different country. Why not? Like, if you really want it, take out a butt loan or something.
There's butt loans. There's boob loans.
There has to be.
There's loans for any kind of thing you want to do.
Yeah.
So I looked up a thing, and I think most of my research was just about butt implants because I'm fascinated by them because I think it's crazy and there's so many bad things that have happened. Brazil, the Brazilian butt lift, which doesn't happen in Brazil. That's the deadly one. It says 1 in 3,000 people die. Yeah. So that's a really high, I mean, it's still like your chances are pretty good, but that's still, in most other things, there's no deaths.
I don't know what it is in relation to childbirth, but I feel like it's hella close.
Well, and I think a lot of the times when people have problems with surgery, it's not necessarily with the surgery. It's like with anesthesia or it's something else that like it's not the actual surgery, but these people are dying from the actual surgery. So maybe don't do it, but people want things so bad that they're willing to die.
That's why they have padded underwear now. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I have seen those, and I think they're really fascinating because I have no ass. So
see, like I'm the opposite. Where like I have an ass and I didn't get the top portion, so I'm like, ooh, like
they have padded bras.
But like boob implants scare me, and like I will admit that like, you know, there's a lot of different, I guess, levels of beauty procedures because now it's very mainstream to get non-surgical things such as like fillers or Juvederm or anything like that. Like it's partially preventative. Sometimes it cures migraines. Like there's a lot of different issues that you can have easily fixed by injections. Right. And it can be frozen or you can get it constantly in. Like I have gotten Botox.
Me too. Which I think it's great. I love it.
I have only gotten it once and it already dissolved, unfortunately, but I got it because I spend a lot of time looking through a viewfinder and staring at a screen. So I was always
scrunchy.
I was being fucking angry all the time. Like even when I was happy. And my friend finally told me, and she was like, I have a person and I will refer you, which made me feel safer about it. And she's like, if you don't like it, it dissolves in 3 months. Like, fuck you. So I did it.
In most injectables, there's oh my God, I can't talk. A reversal. So if you had like too much filler, there's something they can put in to dissolve it if that's a problem.
Yeah. And for a hot minute, I didn't look angry on my birthday, which was awesome. Because I always look angry. I got to go to bed early. But yeah, like I feel like there's certain things where it doesn't change you to not look natural.
Like yourself, yeah.
It just helps you feel a little bit better about yourself. And that's where I'm like, I'm not against it. It's like you do you. Because I've done me. But I think there are extremes that make you constantly feel like you're not enough, especially in this town.
Yeah. Well, and I think now the one thing that I have to say is better now than before is there is a lot of semi-permanent things. Like Botox, I would say is semi-permanent. It dissolves. Fillers, all of that stuff. There's even now like a nose job they can do without surgery. It's a peppermint spray, so it'll help clear her up. But she keeps spraying it all over.
I'm very nasally right now. What is this? I just sprayed my whole fucking face.
It's also very green, so it looks like exorcist vomit. It's great. That's why I said you have to spray it all the way in your mouth.
Mother, you didn't tell me how to use it. I'm trying to be like a productive citizen here, do my job and breathe.
We have her peppermint spray. We have Hall's fruit breezers. We have tissue. It's the cold safety kit.
I'm a sick bitch.
What were you saying? Oh, lip filler, semi-permanent thing. So you're not necessarily like shaving bone away from your nose. That's irreversible. Yeah. You're just puffing it up or whatever it is that you're doing with it. And for me, same. I'm very expressive. So like my forehead moves a lot. So when I first got Botox, I was afraid. The first thing I was like, this is going to go horribly wrong. And my face is going to be like frozen like this for the rest of my life.
Same, and it was cheaper than I thought too. And I was like, what's the catch?
Right. You're like, what is going to happen? Yeah. But it's the craziest sensation because you get it. And then they explain to you what's going to happen. And they say in a couple of days, essentially your muscles are going to freeze and you're not going to be able to move. And when it first happened, so it was like day 2 or 3. And the very first time I felt it happening, I was like, what is going on? And then
that was the same for me, but my bangs were like hiding it, so I didn't really know what was going on in there.
Until you're like,
it was like an easy bake oven. I was like, is it done? Bing, and it was done.
And it's super crazy feeling. And then once it set in, it was like day 4. I was in front of the mirror and I was like, like trying to make my face move and nothing happened. And I would do it for Cameron. I'm like, Cameron, are my eyebrows moving? And he's like, would you just stop? But I was so fascinated.
See, now I have it again. I'm like,
I can move a little. I need a refill.
I'm an angry bitch.
It's not, you can't like, it's not super angry.
Now people really take notice when I like deliver a message. I'm like, hey, do your job. And I just give them my werewolf look and I'm good.
I like it. I'm a fan. Botox, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, Botox.
Other weird beauty things.
Is microblading weird or is that like super normal now? Yes. Because I've never gotten it done.
I have my eyebrows microbladed. What that is essentially, if you're not familiar, it's tattooing your eyebrows, but not like tattooing like it used to be 10 years ago where you would see like the horror, like the story of the green eyebrows. Actually, there was a list of tattooing gone horribly wrong, and it was like people that got tattoo eyeliner and it would change color.
I've wanted that.
I mean, now it's probably a lot better, but this one woman had it. And for some reason it was like black at the beginning. It showed a before and after. And then it's faded like a tattoo, not faded, but like spread. You know, a tattoo sometimes like the line will get like uneven, but then it turned red. Like the color turned red. So all around her eye was just like, looked like she had pink eye on both eyes.
Fuck that.
Yeah. And she had her eyebrows done. I was like, oh, honey.
No.
Like, luckily there's tattoo removal now, but I can only imagine what that would feel like.
Is microblading permanent?
Technically, I would say yes, it is, but I feel like kind of semi-permanent because it fades a little bit.
Yeah.
So essentially it's like a tattoo. It's not with a tattoo gun. It's a special little tool that they use, and it's like a little razor. So what they're doing is like cutting, and then they put ink in it. It's, to me, was like life-changing because not life-changing, but changed a lot for me. Makes so much easier. It would take me 15 to 20 minutes to make my eyebrows like even. And
that's me, but I put it on with mascara, and I feel like everyone out there in the beauty industry is like hating me right now.
Like,
but I like I take my mascara on, and I'm like, today we will have eyebrows.
Brush it?
Yeah.
How do you make it shaped?
I just like rejigger it around this little brush.
You rejigger?
I just rejigger it around.
I'm making up words. So when I did it, they put a numbing cream on it, so you don't really feel it, but you hear it, and it sounds like it's like cutting your skin open, which is not the most like.
I'm itchy.
But the girl that did mine is fantastic. It's like, it looks like real hairs. Like most people can't even tell that I had it done, and I would say that's a weird beauty trend.
I never knew. Did you know I had mascara in my?
I did not know that until now.
If you touch them, it's like Elvis hair.
Is it hard?
It comes. Yeah. Well, it's sticky.
Oh, it's like mascara. It's like mascara.
It's a little, if I hit my pillow too hard, they fucking fly off. It's okay.
What else?
Well, there's a lot of implants in faces now. Like I have friends who have gotten chin implants and like it's weird too. When I first got Botox, I was like kind of nervous, and then I would go and tell my friends, I'm like, hey, guess what I did? And they'd be like, bitch, we've been getting that for 6 years. And I'm
same.
And I almost feel like not special anymore, but like it makes me feel a little better knowing that it's more mainstream to do non-surgical procedures, and you don't feel like you're not yourself, but it's like accepted, but you don't have to be like, I guess, this beauty Instagram person who's flaunting how fake they look. Like you can just do it for you, and it's not for anyone else.
Well, and I think too, this is our bubble. Like being in LA and being in Southern California, you think a lot of the things are widespread across the country, but it's not. It's not like we get so consumed by our world and our bubble and our circles, and people think that that's everything. But take a step back, like think about all the other people in the world. Like some of these things that we're so concerned by, people could give a shit less about. You know,
and beauty standards are so different in every other place. That's what's, I guess, beautiful about the planet. But even when I think about the United States, like I think about the East Coast, and like obviously like New York, they give a shit. But like my hometown, if I went back to my hometown tomorrow and I talked to people I knew and I was like, hey, I got Botox, and like I like do these weird ass workouts and I like take electrolytes and shit, and they'd be like, what? That's
why are you
really
wasting
crazy.
Your money?
Did you go Hollywood on us? Like,
yeah.
Like it'd be crazy for them.
Yeah.
And I think it's very interesting to look at us as people on the internet constantly, and then like what we're exposed to, and who actually takes that verbatim, like California, and who just looks at it and they're like, meh.
Well, I think one really important thing that people forget is life on the internet is the life that for everyone, whether you admit this or not, the things that you put out are how you want to be perceived. It doesn't necessarily, it could be who you are as a person. It could be 100% real, but most of the time, no one wants to see a picture of you with a tissue in your nose because you're sick and you're like, have a cold. But you could do it right now and make these people very happy.
But there's been this whole, with a lot of plastic surgeons right now, because I was reading about this whole transition where they're like, now women don't actually want to look like they've had work done, but they want to get enhancements, and they call it tweakment instead of a treatment. So it's like they're tweaking their natural beauty to enhance it, but they don't want people to look at them and be like, hey, you got work done.
Well, essentially you're still getting like enhancements, but they're more natural looking.
Subtle. They're like going in
and tweakment.
Just a little tweakment.
I mean, I like that term. It sounds cool.
Yeah. But it is like interesting to see, like, when I talk to my friends, even in Seattle, like, I don't know a lot of people who get things done, but I know everyone in California gets things done. So,
well, I think there was a trend too for a while where no one wanted anyone to know that you had things done. Yeah. And now, for me personally, I feel like more people are talking about having things done. Like that more. And for me, I'm like, I don't feel the need to hide anything. I don't think that honestly, to me, it's being dishonest to the people because they think, oh, well, that's just how you naturally are. No, like, hey, I got Botox. Hey, I've gotten lip filler. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that because it makes me feel better about who I am. And I don't want people to think that I don't want to lie to people. Yeah. You know, and obviously if you see me and my lips are this small in one picture and then they're this much bigger in another picture. You got your shit done. Yeah. And there's nothing to be ashamed of if it makes you happy. Yeah. But what I think is the problem is when people go to such extreme measures that these beauty stories become horror stories. Yeah. And
like, there was one girl and she said she literally wanted to look like a cartoon character. And she was on Botched because I went on a Botched binge today. And
I've never watched that show. But
they were like little clips because I think it's E that has the show on. And they'll do like these 2-minute blips of like these people who just have fucked up situations. Yeah. And just like non-silicone in their lips and they get giant. They don't know what's happening.
They're like giant rocks.
They're like, they said it was lamb fat. And they're like, bitch, that's not lamb fat. That's crazy. That's cement.
How do you not do your research and like,
because it's cheap. The thing is it's cheap.
Yeah, but I would rather have like paper lips.
Some people don't have the money.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather not have that than like you're going to look worse in the long run than if you just had your normal lips?
When I was telling you about that Cardi B story where she got butt implants for $800 and she was a stripper and she needed a big butt to compete with people in the strip club. And $800 is really cheap. Yeah. And her doctor ended up going to jail because she ended up like killing someone on the table from, I guess, the filler going into the bloodstream. And it's like, yeah, you run that risk, but sometimes people are very desperate to like have the aesthetic they need for their job or for life.
Well, yeah. And it was another butt implant horror story. And this woman, I don't know, she was somewhere on the East Coast, in New Jersey or something. And again, it was a woman doing these surgeries in her apartment. So again, first red flag, don't go to somebody's apartment. Get a referral. She didn't have a referral, but there was people, I guess, in the town that have used this woman or her name was kind of going around. So she goes, she gets this butt implant and hers ends up being fine. And that's the one thing is people's bodies are different. People's bodies react differently. So you can inject the same thing into everyone in this room, but it may work for you. It may not work for me. It may work for him. Not, you know what I mean? So you don't really know. So people that had previously had stuff done from her were fine and they were getting the same thing injected. So the woman continues to tell the story in the interview that they're asking like, how much should it cost? $500. That's not a good idea.
That's a sushi dinner.
Right. Nope. Don't do it. Then she figures out that they're saying that they're injecting some sort of silicone product, which whatever was tested by the FDA, blah, 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 blah. Turns out it wasn't that. She was injecting something that she got at Home Depot.
Yeah, there's mechanical fluid, and I forget what it's called. But
this wasn't mechanical fluid. This was caulking, like clear. She was like injecting the things that you get. She called it cement, but she said it's the clear stuff that you seal like the tile with. And I was like, silicone caulking, they're putting in that in her body. And someone died, and that woman went to prison. But Like, what are you thinking? Did she like, wouldn't you check for Home Depot bags? Even when I would get Botox, I would look at the thing before he pulled it out of the syringe and like read that it said on there.
To be honest, I asked a lot of things when I went for my Botox. It was kind of a weird situation because I was going over to my friend's house who had been constantly talking me into it. And she was like, just come to my place for a consultation. So I was like in for a consultation.
Yeah.
And she explained it to an extent that I was just like, yeah, fuck it, putting my head because it's my birthday. But I really did not ask what the actual syringe contained. I just knew that she sounded legit. And maybe that's where people
But you had a reason. You had a friend that has gone to her. It was probably a medical office. It was probably clean. It was
in little Tokyo. I don't know.
That face concerned me when you did that.
It was clean.
I mean,
I got a coupon.
You got a Groupon. I feel like coupons aren't a good idea either. If there's a coupon, you probably should stay clear. But you're fine. And I'm sure it wasn't, if you walked into someone's apartment, you'd be like, abort.
Yeah, abort mission.
Yeah.
No, if you're doing a Dunkin' Donuts or an apartment, fuck off.
I mean, yeah, Dunkin' Donuts was not the right meeting.
Booty boosting and donuts do not coexist.
I mean, I feel like there should have been a deal. Like me at the Dunkin' Donuts, you get a free half dozen and then we'll go put cow fat into your butt cheeks.
Just a little bit.
I mean, I would probably go for the donuts and be like, okay, I'm out.
My dream procedure would be like to get my feet defatted because they're a little chubby. Like that, like when I talk to my friends, because it is a thing that comes up in conversation where everyone talks about like the things they're gonna get, and I'm like, you're broke. I was like,
you talk about feet.
You're broke as shit, so you can't get new things, even though you're gonna somehow. But I always have these like dreams of like having like little, not like foot binding feet, but like little skinny little feet.
So we talked about this before because you say you have fat feet. I don't think your feet are fat.
They're round. They're like tater toes.
Feet. I have very like long, skinny, like kind of like
dinosaur feet.
Finger toe. Dinosaur feet.
Yeah.
But I have big feet and like long toes. So
we have the same size though, yeah?
Yeah.
10.
I'm 9.5. Like 9.5.
I'm the big bitch. See?
But you were talking about toe shortening and I was like, I feel like if I had like shorter toes, I'd have like a whole size and a half, maybe 2 sizes smaller.
We could go to like TJ Maxx and actually get the good shoes.
Right. No one ever has 9 or 10.
No. It's like some fucking
clown feet. I look like I have like boats for feet. If I get certain kind of shoes and I stand like forward and they look really cute and I stand sideways and it's like.
Well, see, all the things that I would get if I really bought into the idea of like, not me being beautiful for other people, but me like looking in the mirror and not being like, you fat, fit motherfucker. Like, it'd be like these obscure things. Like, I wouldn't get the normal procedures. I'd be like, yeah, I'm flat as a pancake, but like, I can buy shirts and not try them on, so I'm okay. Like, there's just all these things where I'm like, I don't know, like, I would get like elf ears or something, like just like weird shit.
That's another crazy thing that we didn't really talk about is like the crazy body mods that people do. And there was, I would say like in the 90s, you were seeing a lot of people like going to tattoo shops and getting, what do they call them? Like the dermal implants.
Oh God,
where they would get just like a weird things like horns, or the guy that like shaved his head and had like all the little,
I don't like
on
those.
his, and although it seems like that's a cool thing, do you look back in 25 years and you're like, wow, I have like horns in my head?
I guess, could you take them out though?
I'm sure you could.
Because it's not like, I mean, like, because tattoos are also a form of body modification. And I'm just like, yeah, I have Jack Skellington on my arm, and people might find that unappealing, but when I'm 80 years old, will I actually like it? I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm gonna, but like, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Well, I feel like when we're 80, all of our tattoos aren't going to really be recognizable. Like they're going to be blobs of like black blobs and
blobbing.
But at that point, now there's crazy tattoo removal, so you can get stuff taken off. And by the time we're 80, there's going to be like a magic like laser beam that just zaps and then it goes away.
Yeah, if I make it to 80. But yeah,
we'll
like the dermal,
it.
the things, and like that is not society telling you you're not pretty enough. That's for sure. That's you being like, I'd like to be Satan.
Right.
So I'm going to do it.
Or the one that I like can never look away is when people split their tongue.
Yeah. No.
I am fascinated by that. I think it is the craziest thing, and how they say that you actually have to like keep moving it, or else, because your tongue is one of the fastest healing organs in your body. So if you don't move it, it'll basically heal itself back together. But people gauging their ears, which I did when I was in high school because I thought it was a great idea, and not
my ears
so great.
hate everything. Like I swear here's another surgery that I wanted to get, and I had the balls to when I first moved to LA last year, and I've told like 3 people this.
Ooh, inside scoop.
Inside scoop. So I was living in West Hollywood, and I'm phlegmy.
Need some spray?
Nope. Yes. Hold on.
In the mouth. It's all over. So for some reason, the sprayer on this, it's just like it's an all natural peppermint breath spray. But when you spray it, it sprays everywhere, and it's like exorcist juice. Like it's so gross looking. It works really good though. Cute? Yeah, you got it all.
Okay.
It was like,
anyways, I got my ears pierced when I was like, I don't know, like 8 or 9. Oh,
phlegm. So much phlegm.
I'm like dying.
It made the little thing on the board go all the way up.
Sorry, guys. I caught the flu. I caught the plague. I caught all the things.
Over here.
Anyways, I got my ears pierced, like 2 in each thing, and my ears just don't fucking like ear piercings.
Yeah.
And they were like constantly infected.
They get like crusty and stuff.
But so I haven't worn earrings since I was 10 years old, and the holes are still there. They still get infected.
Really?
Like I will.
Do you put fake earrings in?
No. I like touch them and they freak out. So I got to the point when I moved here because like I can't handle heat and they were getting hot. And I was like,
it's
fuck
sweaty
these
and
bitches.
irritated.
I decided to look up because I saw that Kris Jenner got her ears like little, like because her ears were big as shit and she wanted to get them like taken down. And I was like, I'm gonna get an ear reduction. Fuck it. So I Google it.
Ear
lobe
reduction, right? Just the lobes?
Yeah, just the lobes. But I just wanted to get the chunks that essentially had holes.
Oh,
just
like
taken
basically
out.
take it off so it's not
because
no
of
holy
aesthetics,
earlobes.
even though I have big fucking ears.
Let me see.
No.
Just show me one side. They can't see it. You have cute ears. You're talking about they're not big.
I like got up all the strengthening, and this is before I got Botox, so like email a surgeon and be like, hey, I have this really bad problem and I would just really like to like get these ear things chopped off because I hate my life. Never heard back.
Really?
Like, literally nothing. I'm like I've been stewing for a year with my fucking
like, hey,
inflamed
doctor.
ears. I'm like, I don't really, sometimes it just doesn't work out even if you want it.
I mean, maybe you just need to get them like stitched up so there's no hole anymore.
No, they're stupid. I don't know what to do.
So I don't have the same thing, but if I put anything fake in my ears, it'll get infected. So I have to wear real silver or gold. But when I was in high school, I was like, oh, it's super cool. All the cool kids are gauging their ears. I'm going to gauge my ears because I'm a cool kid. And I didn't go to a place. I thought I could do it myself. So what I did is I had my ears pierced and I got nails, like hardware, like nails that you would hang pictures with, and I got different sizes. And so what I would do is I would dip the nails in alcohol and or burn them and sterilize them and then put them in. And you would let them stay like overnight, and then the next day you would put a bigger one in, and you put a bigger one in, and you put a bigger one in until you got to the desired like holiness that you wanted. Or you could go to a place where they would like punch your like an ear lobe out, like the whole punch, and put a thing in there. So I was like, I don't want to necessarily like remove part of my ear. And so I gauged them to the size of a Starbucks straw. And that was and I was just, why? Like, why did I do that? I thought it was so cool. And then I realized it wasn't cool. And then I took it out. So now every time I wear heavy earrings, I have like saggy earlobes.
Sucks to be you.
It does suck to be me.
We both have holy issues, and it doesn't involve Jesus or Jesus, DJ Christo in the corner.
Did not help us with our earlobes. No. So, just if you're thinking about it, it's not a good idea, probably.
No,
you're going to regret it later.
You shouldn't do self-procedures either when in doubt.
No, you shouldn't actually gauge your ears with the nails that you got from your garage.
Probably don't tattoo yourself. Don't.
No, but other funny story. So when Cameron and I first started dating, I wanted a Monroe piercing, and he wanted a lip piercing. And we're like, oh, we could go to the tattoo place, and they're going to charge us like $100 a pop. And
we could do it in our own fucking living room. How
exactly.
romantic.
So what did I do? I went and I bought online the little clamp thing that they basically like clamp the skin with, and we bought piercing needles. And we're like, how hard could it be? Like, the guy in there doesn't look like he's super professional, and he does it. So we go into the bathroom, and the piercing needles are not just like a needle. It's a hollow needle. Hollow needle. So it like pierces an actual bigger hole. And so we just went into the bathroom, and I was like, yeah, we marked where we wanted it, and we're just like, boop. And it was surprisingly very easy, very inexpensive, because I think the little clamp and then the piercing needles and the jewelry for like everything for both of us was like $25.
Oh, shit.
Very inexpensive, but also not super smart, because there's like chance of bacteria. Like, you can be safe, but you're essentially doing the job of someone that goes to school and gets certified to put holes in people's faces, and we did it to each other. And since then, I've decided that I didn't want that piercing, so I took it out, and I have a hole in my face. I have a couple holes in my face, but you can't really see them anymore.
I have no holes in my face. My body rejects piercings. That's what I found out.
Well, that's good. I wish mine did the first time.
Maybe I shouldn't buy earrings at Claire's, but I don't know.
Yeah, you should probably not buy the 99
No one's ever
cent
bought me
store.
the nice shit, so.
You gotta get the silver plated,
Buy me
gold
some
plated.
nice shit, guys.
So, I think now it's time for your favorite part of the show. Creepy treats.
Good thing I can't taste anything.
Oh, damn it. But this one's fun, actually. So hold on, let me grab them.
It's in a cauldron today.
We have a little pumpkin cauldron.
He's a pumpkin.
And let me
very nice.
rearrange my...
He's too happy for what's inside.
He's very happy. He's just trying to smile to keep you happy. So this
Aren't they
time
all?
we went a different route, and we're going to have a basket of random things. And these are all treats from, I think these are the Japan treats. Japan. It was like a mystery box, and you get like 35. Got it on Amazon because Amazon's my homie, and it's just random.
Sponsor us.
But the thing is, like, it's just a whole thing.
It's evil in there.
I don't know what anything is because in the description of it, it was all in Japanese, so I actually have no idea what they are. So we're gonna do a little trick or treating, and you pick one. But don't look.
I didn't go trick or treating last year. Stop telling me what to do. I'll do it myself.
No cheating.
I don't like this.
What is it?
I'm not
we
sure.
don't know. Okay, let me grab one.
It's not in English.
I know. That's
it's
what I
a strawberry. Da fuck you. That's what it says. A strawberry da fuck you.
Where?
Right there. It says strawberry fuck you.
Strawberry dai fuku, but fuck you, close enough.
I didn't finish that Duolingo series of Japanese.
Okay, I'm gonna have this
I don't
little
like
orange
this
thing.
texture.
Oh.
I feel like this is it's a nice foundation.
Oh, this one says chocolate chip cookie. That's lame. I don't want to. It's a beauty puff. Oh Lord. Oh, did you just lead puff your face? Okay, mine.
It's a nice. Is there anything in here?
I have to. So mine has
there's shit inside. I ripped him.
Eat it. Sounds very juicy.
That was
Hold
just
on,
my mouth.
Secret.
Am I just like dumb or does it taste like nothing?
Well, let me take a bite off the back that you didn't touch.
I'm sick.
I know, but you didn't. It smells like strawberry. It kind of tastes like just a strawberry marshmallow,
Really?
but like not a lot of flavor. It's kind of like eating air. So mine is on all Japanese, and it looks like a little yellow thing with a blue tongue and a witch hat. But it's I don't know what that is. There's no English.
What the fuck? Fudge? Sorry, children.
After the whole episode of like
After like
F-bombs.
15,000 episodes of me saying fuck. Sorry, kids.
Oh, it's blue. Oh, is it gum? Uh-oh. Uh-huh.
No. I can't wait. I gotta blow if I really have to.
It tastes like blue raspberry.
Sorry, guys.
Blow your nose. Okay. I feel like this is a very big problem because if it's gum, it should definitely... We have a lot of blowing. If it's gum, it should say that it's gum so you don't swallow it because I was... oh my God, it's so loud. Get it. Get all that snot out. You're crying.
I know. Okay, now I can taste again.
I think this is just blue raspberry gum.
Well, that's uneventful.
It is, but it should say gum because I was about to just swallow it.
ASMR.
ASMR. Get in there.
Oh, wow, a cookie. Fuck.
Does it say it's a cookie?
Nope. Just feel it in my soul.
I'm getting rid of that gum.
Oh, what?
What is it?
It's like a wafer.
Is it yummy?
It's delicious.
I'm gonna have one of these stick things. What does it taste like?
I'm not sure. Tastes
Can
like
you not
something.
taste?
No, I still can't taste.
Oh. Smells terrible.
Really?
Yeah. It smells like Play-Doh.
Well, I don't know why it tastes so good. Maybe because
Oh,
I can't taste
damn.
anything.
That's really good.
Right?
It's like a salty potato chip, but
I have another.
it smells not very good though. You can't smell it though.
No, I'm just putting it in my mouth.
It's very. That's really good. Okay, this is a Ban, Baan, but I think that's like supposed to be like a comic, like wham, wow.
What a shit job they did there.
And I think it's a duck, or no, I don't know what that is.
What was their marketing budget? $2?
Yeah, and it's like a weird. We don't know who's kicking a soccer ball.
So she said.
Oh, it's a big puff.
I'm
It's
not
like a
trying,
big.
Brad.
It's like
No.
a big Cheeto.
It's like those frozen
Oh.
Twinkies in your freezer.
Oh, frozen. You've never had a frozen Twinkie. We should try one. Hold on.
I don't want that in my mouth. And it's
It
not
smells-
because I'm already.
It smells like cheese, but it tastes like a cinnamon stick.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means it smells like cheese and it tastes like a cinnamon stick. Right? Or like a
What the fuck?
right? We don't know what that is, but we
I'm
like
not
it.
Sure.
I kind of like it.
Amazon.
It's
Prime it.
oh, I was like, oh shit, it's expired. It's not expired yet. We got another one. Oh, bad throw. Frozen Twinkie.
A frozen Twinkie, eh?
Frozen Twinkie for
This
the
is
win.
the dessert of our people. The poor bitches.
The things that will last forever. But isn't that not a thing? Isn't it not true that they don't last forever?
We don't know.
'Cause
Will we
then-
live forever? We don't even know.
Someone says that they. Oh god, that's really loud on the microphone. I'm like, hello. Let me get this
This
Twinkie
is
out.
the ASMR portion. ASMR, not ASMR.
Am-
I was like ASMR.
ASMR?
ASMR portion. I was like gonna say something really sexy, and then I realized I had more phlegm.
So all that came out was Asmar.
Yeah.
Frozen Twinkies. If you haven't tried them, they are pretty delicious.
It's very white. It's basically glowing. That's amazing.
I think that's our lighting. Hopefully, they're not radioactive. from our
that's the
freezer.
quasars.
That quasar lighting, folks.
Oh wow.
See, you were talking shit earlier. She's like, frozen Twinkies. Who eats that?
Well, I can't taste it, but the texture is fascinating.
Right? It's like a the cream inside turns into like a thicker
Like
ice
a warm
cream.
hug.
Oh, go.
Fucking love it.
We have like a whole case, so if you
I've
want
had
more.
a whole week of disappointment, but this is like redemption in a Twinkie.
If you're ever feeling sad, just throw your Twinkies in the freezer.
I feel really like ashamed to buy Twinkies.
Why?
I don't know.
We bought 2 boxes last time. It's great.
But I do Instacart and I buy wine on the bus. So
Wait, what?
yeah, I did that last week.
You
So
buy-
my shame levels are different than most people. but
Right. I'm like, I feel like that would be a little more shameful than buying Twinkies.
no, like I fucking rode that bus. I bought that wine, and a man in a nice plaid shirt delivered to me as I walked home.
Wait, I'm confused. Oh, so you
Instacart.
got, I got it. I was like,
You
I
can
thought
grocery shop, and then they'll send you wine.
but it's here, not
Yeah.
on the bus.
No, so I was like on the bus. I was like, I had my app out, and they're like, "Ooh, like you can get someone to grocery shop for you." And I was like, "Damn right, because
Got
I'm
it.
busy as shit, and it's
Like, I don't
8
have
p.m."
time.
I get home. What do I see? A man with a bag of wine. But I'll
Do
get
you get a box of wine or a bag of wine?
A bag of bottles of wine.
Okay.
But I'll have him get me Twinkies next time.
I thought when you said, this is what I envisioned as you said your story. I was like, Ashley's on the bus and there's a man and he came with the giant Ziploc of wine.
He's
And
selling
you-
me my juice.
And you punched a straw in it and you drank it and you had the best ride of your life.
white girl juice. Yes. Show me your ID, girl.
We have a very different thought process of what I didn't know what Instacart
I have a
is.
long bus, man. I need a lot of things to drink.
Do you want another thing or are you good?
No.
So we still have like half a pot of
Okay,
random
give me something
things.
else.
Oh, you want another? Okay, one more.
One more thing.
There's really.
Well,
there's
I
a-
want to find
I
that
want you to
weird
find
one.
the gross one.
I already got this one.
Can we get that weird gross one that looks like a shriveled up
ball sack?
ball sack? Okay, so it is a little girl holding a tray with a cup on it. And if you look at it, it's like a little shriveled up nugget. So we're going to try it.
You're going to try it.
No, you said you were going to try it. You wanted to get it.
Don't inject that in your bosom. No, that is not silicone. That is
I think
death.
I know what it is.
No, you don't. What is it? Prune?
Here, you
Chucky's?
have the little.
No,
it's
that's
a little
disgusting.
Just eat it. You ate a bag of bug trail
that
mix.
is disgusting. Look at the texture.
It's got like speckles on it.
Oh my God.
What does it smell like? I could smell it better. It just smells old. Oh, it's salty. No, it's like, but
nope.
It's salty on the outside. It's tangy. It's good. You should try it.
No,
Try it.
I can't.
You made me open that
I
package.
can't breathe out of my nose.
Put the goddamn shriveled up thing in your mouth. Where did you put it? Eat it. It's actually really gross. It's really gross. It's like salty and sour and sugary.
It like disintegrated.
Whatever this is, don't this one. Don't eat it. It's not good. If you get that Amazon package, that little sweet girl on the front is lying to you. Nasty. All right, Fiends, thanks for watching this episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
And I'm Ashley.
And you can listen to us on iTunes and Spotify. You can also go to the website and watch the full video of this episode at letsgetspooky.com. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to stay spooky. Bye.